We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as... Two words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming.
Internment resettlement specialist. This MOS plays an integral role in providing a uniform system of handling prisoners and detainees. First and always, these MPs are combat support soldiers trained to fight.
Welcome to Stop the Badges Weekly Nightly News. I'm Porter Vaughn. Stop the Badges Weekly Nightly News. I'm Porter Vaughn, and today is Tuesday, August 19th. Crazy developments with Ferguson, Missouri. I haven't seen or heard anything since just after midnight from CNN last night. And, you know, they were saying that throughout the night, or early in the evening into the late evening, there were still protesters, but there was protester on protester violence reported by the police, and that they weren't even in the area. They were on the streets, but then tear gas got launched off and Molotov cocktails were going off. And then they were told, you know, to clear the area, and that there were gunshots, and they took the media and pushed them back. The National Guard arrived on scene, and just about half an hour ago, InfoWars did a story. There's a complete media blackout from about a mile in diameter, so about a half-mile radius around where the riots, protests, demonstrators, where the Michael Brown demonstrations have been taking place. They've not evacuated, but they've forced out all the media. So they didn't just evacuate them, but they're prohibiting them from returning to the area. And they've got the National Guard there, the command center. They've got everybody pushed back behind the command center, and reportedly by the residents who live within this place. It's complete chaos in there. And this is the civil unrest that has been laid out in the National Defense Authorization Act, where they can send in and use lethal forces against, you know, extreme protesters or extreme activists in times of civil unrest and chaos. So this lays the groundwork for being able to move in and just shoot whoever they want. They've trained for this for years. They've done joint training ops to retake cities. They've used other, weather disasters. They've used other shooting scandals as cover for door-to-door searches, and now they're searching homes door-to-door, and we don't know why, because it's a complete media blackout. They won't let anybody in. I, for one, I wish I had just the gas money to drive out there so I could see for myself what was going on, but this is the point. This is Ferguson, Missouri. Shows us all exactly what the police and the military are capable of, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of bloodshed over this at the hands of the police and the military, and then them just blame it off as protester on protester violence, to say that they had nothing to do with it, as has been the case the last two nights. On, if we remember, Saturday night there was a man shot. There was reportedly a shooting involving a police vehicle, and then there was a police shootout reported, and then on Sunday they said that there was just a man shot, not by anybody they know, and he's just in the hospital. And then Sunday night, the same thing happened to two people. Last night, or yesterday, Monday, we found out that 2 people were just shot in the same thing. It was reported that they were shooting out with the police, and then all of a sudden they're just shot, and it's assumed it's protester on protester violence. Nobody knows, because they're not reporting anything, they're not telling us anything, they're giving us bullshit press conferences where they just tell lies and push their own agenda. They just pat themselves on the back, but in the meanwhile, you know, they have all the cameras off to the side, completely, you know, half a mile or more away from where the violence is taking place, and they're just able to run freely in, unchecked, unregulated, and search homes, gun people down as they see fit. I mean, right now, what if you were to assert, if you live in that half-mile radius and you want to assert your right, your Fourth Amendment right against an unreasonable search? I mean, they don't have warrants. They're conducting door-to-door searches. What if you were to say no? They're going door-to-doors, presumably, because this is how they've done it in the past, with SWAT gear, riot gear, and the rammers, you know, just to knock the door off the hinges, just to throw the door open. They don't even knock. They'll just run right in. We saw footage of that during Katrina, and you know, they were just running right through houses. It was they were training for a suburbia takeover, and or zombie incidences. Anyways, complete media blackout. Nobody has any idea what's truly going on in there, and the citizens who do live in there are just completely on their own at this point. This is why we need to be more self-sufficient and independent as a whole. We need to protect ourselves. We should have a community who is dedicated, maybe by volunteering, to protecting the community, not police officers who are compensated, promoted, and rewarded and then protected for their desire to distribute violence and wield authority. You know, we could, as independent citizens, or maybe even smaller neighborhoods, catch our own rainwater, use solar energy, grow our own crops. They're attacking independent farmers, people who have farms in their front yards, people who try to become independent at all. A lady in Florida, an elderly woman, disconnected her house from the city water because she had a rainwater catch and she served it to guests. Because she didn't have rainwater or city water supply going into her house, getting fed into her house, she was charged. Code violations, liens were placed on her house, and she had to go to court to fight that. And it wasn't until it got nationwide attention that she actually had enough momentum to get some recognition and get it overturned. I don't remember if she ever did, actually, because I know she was in the process of doing it. But this is the way they attack us independently. Small small independent communities. They want to dismantle them and tax them and absorb them. So, you know, share the word, take up arms to demilitarize our own local police forces or authorities or sheriffs or county, highway patrols, whatever is in your local area. We need to demilitarize them now before they overtake us like they have in Ferguson, Missouri, where they just create and stimulate a state of civil unrest and chaos by boosting the looting, and then move in, try to play the savior, say it was all protester on protester violence, and execute whoever they want. Thank you. That's all I got. I'll keep you posted. Share the video. Stop the Badges Weekly Nightly News.